Good morning, my Food and Mood friends. Chandra. This is my first live ever. Zen Odyssey, Chandra Zas, Food and Mood Coaching. It's my first live. So welcome to my first live. If you're watching this live, then radical. If you're watching a replay, also really cool. I'm in the process of changing up a lot of my content creation and how I'm sharing information, how I'm interacting with you guys. So I'd love to hear any feedback. If you want more lives, if you want to, let me know. I'm super curious. So I'm going to try a new format today for this weekly video. And part of it is because I've been kind of rolling with my life. We just moved internationally. Moving is all relative, but we just moved from Israel back to California, and we'll be here for a period of time. And then we're going to do some more moving. So moving has been one of my big stressors in life, and I've chosen to really look at it as an opportunity to really manage my stress and practice rolling with things. So generally I record videos ahead of time, and I did have a couple of videos recorded, and this video for this week I didn't have recorded. And so as my partner and I were talking about it yesterday, he's like, I gotta edit the video. And I was like, there is no video this week. And so we kind of came up with a new plan. We said, well, how about we do a live this week instead of a recorded video? And at the same time, I'm also thinking to incorporate more of my weekly newsletters into my videos. So this format today is going to be a little bit different. And the other thing that I'm adding into the mix is I want to start sharing more about my life. So in the last couple of weeks, we moved out of an apartment. We internationally traveled. We have a little one. We went and stayed with my mom. We have been rolling with a lot of different potential big stressors. And for me, managing my stress is a really big part of my health. And it's a big part of what I help my clients with. And nothing like moving internationally, flying internationally, moving out of apartments, still running a job, still seeing clients, rental cars, all of the different pieces. Our little one's been out of school, which has been also, a lot more work and a lot more attention. And so I just decided to take everything as slow as possible, minimize my workload, and really prioritize my health, really prioritize de-stressing, keeping everything mellow, which a lot has to do with mental management. A lot of it has to do with prioritizing what's important, what's not important, not trying to do it all. If we try to do it all, it's a big stressor. So I've been really practicing what I preach, and I have to say it went really, really well. I'm feeling like we're in a good place. I'm personally in a good place, like stress-wise, emotionally-wise. I really took care of myself. I did a lot of good sleeping with jet lag, all of those pieces. They all add up and they all matter. And for us, we always eat healthy. Like we bring food on the plane. We cook really good food. We make sure that before we land and when we land, we are eating like really good nutrient-dense foods. That's for me personally. I've just gotten to a point in my life where I know how important food is. And my partner is also extremely on the same page. So we really prioritize eating good food all the time, no matter what. So we did that. That's just like baseline for us, even though that's a lot of where I help my clients get to. For me, the food part is like, it's really, really simple. The stress piece is something that I constantly am working on and constantly finding new stress techniques. Breathing, like intentionally breathing, is one of the best things for stress. So yeah, a lot of intentional breathing really helps. Yeah. And what I want to offer today, and I'd love to hear, please comment below and give me feedback if there's any topics that you would like me to cover. I have someone that just recommended a topic on dairy and eggs, which I will create in the next few weeks. But if you have any other topics that you'd love to hear from me, please write them in the comments below. I'd love to know. And also tell me what you think about this episode today, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to read my weekly newsletter. So this will be my newsletter that goes out to everyone on my weekly newsletter list on Thursdays. I have a weekly newsletter, and I keep getting feedback that my newsletters are really powerful. And so I was thinking, why not read it here in this video today and let all of you guys hear my weekly newsletter, and maybe also inspire you to go join my newsletter. If you go to my website, zenodyssey.com, you'll see the options to sign up for my newsletter at the bottom of every page. And so here we go, reading my weekly newsletter. Alrighty. So the topic for my newsletter this week is your why, and particularly for food changes, big enough? The reason behind why we make food changes is more important than you may guess. Depending on how big is the why directly determines the likelihood of our success. So before you waste your time and energy trying to make food changes, I would encourage you to read on or listen on and figure out, is your why for food changes big enough? The worst is when we try to make food changes because we think we should, or we are supposed to, or because we feel that we have to make food changes. This type of why requires us to use restriction, willpower, and force, which always ends in failure, combined with guilt or shame, and then leads to comfort eating. This is the vicious type of why that actually makes our food habits worse. So when I first start working with my clients, we always start with the why, and I always share with them that even though it can feel like a waste of time to dig in and get clear on the why, that it is actually baseline foundation for long-term health and habit change. So my clients with the biggest digestive troubles often have the biggest whys and therefore have the greatest motivation, which gives them the biggest success. One of my clients has been struggling with heartburn for 7 years, the last year being nearly debilitating. And she has time and time again said in our sessions, I will do anything to get rid of this pain. She just celebrated 30 days of nearly no heartburn pain, and she's over the moon happy to feel, and she's feeling like she has her life back. And she's still highly motivated to get her heartburn pain to zero. It's kind of weird reading my email and looking at you guys. Another client's why for making food changes is all about his work life. His greatest motivator is his brain's ability to focus and hold attention. For him, his physical symptoms, which he actually does have a few, are not his greatest source of why. It's not worth it for him to make food changes for his physical symptoms. Cleaning up his diet is something he wants to do in order to help his brain be sharper and his work life be up-leveled. Another client, her big why is weight loss. She has an ideal weight that she wants to get to by focusing on foods that make her feel good in her body. And she says, making weight loss feel magical. She's already lost, I think, something like 20 pounds in the beginning part of my program. And now she's wanting to do like another, I think it's 15 or 20 pounds. And she's wanting to do it not how she's done it before with her, like the diet mentality, restriction and deprivation, but instead really using this, like, what foods make me feel good. So instead of focusing on normal diet mentality using restriction, I already wrote this in the newsletter, she is focusing on food that makes her body feel good post-meal tomorrow morning, which are the long-term feel-good gratifications, the sustainable diet change. So which brings me to one of my very important point that most people struggle with. Most people think that food changes means missing out. So I personally have done enough of this in my life, and I know that food changes do not stick using the depriving mentality, the diet thing. So the sustainable way to making food changes stick for life is by connecting to what we want and our big why. So I want to just make this a little bit more clear because it's a really important point. So if you try on the mindset of like, I have to, or I'm supposed to, or I should, maybe you went to the doctor and your doctor is saying, your numbers are off, you really should, cut back on this or do this. When we have those types of thoughts, if you try them on in your mind and you think about it, there's like this kind of heavy, restricted, like there's a negative energy there. Versus when you think, I want to feel really light in my body, or I want to feel something like that. Like if you think about what you want of your health, then there's an open and there's a forward movement. There's a really different energy to the way that we go into our food changes. And that's like really the key point. When we try to make a change because we think we should, it's like, it's hard, versus when we think of a change that we want because we want to achieve a certain health, or we want to get out of pain, or then there's like a want and there's an energy there. And that energy is really useful and really important. The sustainable way to making food changes stick for life is by connecting to what we want and our big why. What we want is our why. For me, it started with, I want to get rid of my eczema without using medications. If you know my story, that's where I was when I was around 15 years old. To, I want to feel good after this meal. So like a lot of bloating and a lot of brain fog and a lot of food comas, which then went to, I want to feel good tomorrow morning, and eventually has become, I want to age as gracefully as possible. I just turned 40 this year, and my new mission for my 40s for this decade is to reverse my biological age. So now I'm not really dealing with pain. My weight is totally stabilized and maintained. But now I'm like, okay, now how can I actually like really age gracefully and reverse my biological age? This is my newest mission. I'm really excited. So if you let me save you some time and energy, then please play with me here. What is your why for making food changes in order to improve your health? What is your why? Is it a have to or a should, or do you have a want and a why that might just be the beginning of actually making real, long-lasting food changes? And if you're wanting help with your food changes without using restriction or deprivation, and instead making sustainable, lifelong, full of love health changes, full of your want, then sign up for a free consultation call with me, or take advantage of my free email course with the first steps to my food and mood process. I have an awesome email course that has like the beginning, most important steps of making these food changes. So you can find the links below this video to my consultation call and the video course. You can also go to my website, zenodyssey.com, and you can also find all the links there. You can find the work with me button. You can find in the announcement bar the email course. And at the bottom of every blog page or every website page is a sign up for my newsletter. And then you can join the newsletter list and get these awesome emails in your weekly newsletter. And yeah, that is my newsletter for the week. And we are going to finish moving into our Airstream today. We're heading over to do the final unloading, unpacking into the Airstream. And my little one goes to school tomorrow, and we're going to get back into our routine for the next few months we're actually staying in Sonoma County. I have a lot of friends and family here in Sonoma County. So we're living in this beautiful renovated Airstream on one of our dear friends' properties. And I'm actually technically currently in my brother's house right now. This is his wife's office. And so you might see some more videos from here. And yeah, we're settling in, we're eating really good food, and we're taking everything slow and realistic and focusing on health and stress levels and living a beautiful life. So let me know if you have any questions or comments or video topic requests. And if you want to work with me, you know how to get a hold of me. Links below this video. Or if you're listening to this on potentially social media like Instagram or LinkedIn or something, you can go to my profile, my bio or my profile, and find a link into all of the links where you can get everything's there. You can totally find it. Have a beautiful day, and this was kind of fun. Tell me if this was fun for you or not. And I hope you have a beautiful day also. Happy Monday. There's a lot of end buttons here. Bye-bye.